The year is 1997. Your family has just bought a new computer, a Pentium II that's humming along beautifully. With a video card, it's not a Voodoo, it's not an NVIDIA, hell, it's not even an ATI. It is an SiS 6326 AGP, a card that almost everybody has forgotten. Today we're going to take a close look at this card and find out if it was decent, or is there a good reason why history chose to forget it. So welcome to Retro Bus, my name is Bill. Today we are, as mentioned, looking at this SiS AGP video card. So this is a card that I'd never heard of till about a month ago. And all of a sudden, I've got three of them. I had a couple of marketplace hauls, and there was a few boxes that I hadn't looked through, and I've got three of these things. I might have to do a giveaway on the channel, I think. So, when I think of SiS, I always think about the chipsets. There were even a lot of motherboards from the 486 days all the way up to the Pentium IV. So SiS really competed heavily with VIA and Intel in that whole chipset market. But then they started breaking out into the video graphics market as well towards that mid-90s space. And for a card that I've never heard of, or a chip I've never heard of, this thing was actually very successful. They sold 7 million of these things in 1998. That's just a discrete. Then they were also highly used in embedded motherboards as well. So lots of embedded chips in motherboards were sold. So this came in a 4 meg and an 8 meg variant. I've got an 8 meg here. Give it its best chance. Here is a Pentium II 450 megahertz with 128 meg of RAM. So pretty spec'd up system for 97-98. So I'm sure probably a lot of you are familiar with this card. Again, I'm not. When I think of budget cards in that era, I always think about the Intel i740. With where I was with my friendship group, the i740 was the budget king. They were everywhere, and they were cheap, and they performed, decent enough. The game that was played the most at that time was SiS, and the i740 got you playing SiS. Not the best, but it got you playing SiS. It did OpenGL and Direct 3D. That's all you needed. So this was apparently the budget king around other parts of the world. I never ran across it, but I'm really keen to see how it goes. So let's have a closer look at these video card specs, SiS, and we'll get into this system and get a benchmarking and see how it performs. Okay, so as mentioned, I have three of these things. So, choices. I ended up going with this guy. It's got the most chips. Surely that's got to be worth something. So yeah, they came in lots of variants with lots of different RAM, EDO RAM, SD RAM, etc. So this looks like it's more advanced. Hopefully it'll get me a bit more performance, because they also came in many different frequencies of core and memory as well. Let's see how I go with you, mate. So what we're looking at is the SiS 6326 AGP. The AGP is a little bit misleading, that's the name of the chip, but this also did come out in the PCI variant. The chip was still called AGP. So what we have is a 64-bit bus connecting that memory to the CPU core. It comes in 8 or 4 meg SD RAM and even EDO RAM variants, which is why that frequency, it can change so much. There's a lot of different variations of this card. That memory can go from 50 megahertz if it's EDO RAM up to 100 megahertz. The model I have has 80 megahertz RAM, and the core is the same, it can go from 75 to 90. My core reported 80 megahertz as well, and it comes with an AGP 2x interface. So Silicon Integrated Systems, or SIS, was founded in Taiwan in 1987. At the time, the PC industry was exploding. Demand for low-cost components was massive. Unlike companies like 3DFX and NVIDIA that really chose high-end performance headlines, SIS really focused on integration, compatibility, and most importantly, price. They were affordable, reliable platforms, often building graphics I/O into a single solution. So discrete graphics like the SIS 6326 weren't about winning benchmarks, they were really about filling a gap for manufacturers who needed something cheap, available, and easy to design around. That approach made SIS extremely successful in volume terms. They loved moving a lot of stock, even if it meant their products were rarely celebrated by enthusiasts. Okay, let's start with some Moto Racer. This was a great game, lots of fun. Made by DSi, fantastic company. They made some real classics, Fade to Black, Another World, really great games. You know what? If you want to open up the tracks in this game, the cheat is type in your name, CD, Nelsie, as such, and I'll just ask you to do it again. But you'll have access to all the tracks. There you go. This frame rate looks pretty good. Now we'll start with Speedbay Classic. Yeah, this was such a great little game. really efficient. Usually ran pretty smooth on just about anything back in the day. This frame rate is pretty decent. 22, it's saying. It seems to be locked at it. I'm not sure if that's accurate. It feels pretty damn smooth. Yeah, this feels very smooth. Oh yeah, it's very playable. I mean, this is a really fast game as well, so you do want a decent frame rate. You really got to time your racing lines very well. Whoa, otherwise you get punished pretty badly. Draw distance isn't the best. Look at this, the things just pop up into existence, don't they? Yeah, details wise, I've put it to 5. What's 5? I don't know. But details basically start from 1, 2, 3, 4, and go up to 5. You know, I'll put it at maximum. This is great. This is very smooth, very playable. Feels like it's, 30 and above, to be honest. It feels more than 25 frames per second. Playing this game really takes me back. I used to play it a lot when I was early on in my IT career. I used to work at a university, and I worked for an IT team that we used to support hardware for labs and other areas of the university. And we were a team that was split across 2 campuses. And we're all really good mates. And, come 3 o'clock on a Friday, we used to get a phone call from the boys in the other campus saying, "Hey, fire up Moto Racer." And then we used to play the link play. Our networks were all connected. And we would play this for the rest of the day, and we'd have great fun. Get pretty competitive. We just go through all the maps and see, who was the best. Yeah, lots of fun. A really good fun multiplayer game. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. You really got to anticipate the corners sometimes because they come at you pretty quick. And the more familiar you get with the track, the better you get at it. But yeah, this game was, it was pretty, I must say, it was pretty efficiently coded. This video card's handling it really well. Much better than I expected, to be honest. I have got the 8 meg version, which is good. Didn't cheap out here. But yeah, this card, we're off to a pretty good start. So, this is released in 1997, same year as the card, and it's performing pretty well. Yeah, I think the draw distance, look at that draw distance. It's much more apparent on this map, isn't it? Whoa, my cornering is terrible. This was a bit of a tougher map, more narrower roads. It was a beautiful map though. Going through these big arches here, very nice. Oh, what a nice map this was. Really good course. There we go. Some air balloons. Oh, they just pop in and out of existence. Yeah, look, I think this is a pretty good start for the old SiS. And, if I was a teenager or a kid playing this game with this card, I would be pretty happy with it. This is a very fun game. Oh, game over. All right. So that's pretty good. Very good start so far. They also do have dirt tracks you can do. There was I got the Great Wall. That was a fun one. Great Wall of China. Yes, all right. Anyway, enough of that. Let's move on to our next game. All right, let's move on to Quake II, also released in 1997. That's looking funky. Where's my frame counter gone? That's in software mode. Now, this card, there were some reports saying that this card could not do OpenGL, just Direct 3D. So what I'll do is turn it to Direct 3D if I can. Let's have a look at video. Software. Okay, there's nothing but OpenGL. Let's see how we go. Default OpenGL. Now I'm not sure if it can do it or not, but they did say later drivers could. I got the latest drivers that I could. So let's have a look. Apply and see what happens. We're going to benchmark this thing or not. Okay. Server was killed. I think we're going to do it. Yes, we are. No, we're not. This is software. Okay. Yeah, it's not gonna do it, is it? We definitely can't do 3D FX. Not gonna do that. Default OpenGL. No. Okay. Looks like we're not gonna be able to do OpenGL. That sucks. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, it's true what I've read then. So this card cannot do OpenGL, I must say, in software. And, this is probably more due to the system than the video card, but the software mode actually runs pretty good. All right, well, okay. No test for Quake II. Okay, still in 1997. Let's try some Tomb Raider 2. Oh my God. These graphics don't look the best, do they? LOL, mate. Cup of tea. Yeah, look at these textures. Oh my god, they just look like giant squares just stitched together. And they're almost just shifting. Oh, this looks terrible. You can see through the polygons in her pants. Look, the calves, look at them. See straight through. Yeah, frame rate, not the best. Draw distance, as expected. Oh my god, I can't get out of the water. Unbelievable. That water texture, by the way, is absolutely horrid. Come on, get out. God damn it. Oh, yes. Oh, not only looks terrible, it runs terrible. Oh my god, look at the wall on the right. You just see the seams between the texture where it's tiling. This looks shockingly bad. Let's go to new game, see what happens. Oh my god. Yeah, it's about 15 frames. Oh, it doesn't look better. It looks any better than software mode, doesn't it? I'm like, is it software mode? No, it's not. It is hardware mode. I mean, there is texture filtering. You can sort of see that. But oh wow, the way that the textures, the geometry just does not look right. You sort of see every single corner of geometry, every polygon. The way that the textures are applied. Look at it. Oh, here we go, Tiger. Oh my god. You know, I'd be interested to see if we've got a Verge type of decelerator situation here. So what I'll do is I'll try and run it in software and see how it runs. You know, pretty much the same. But I think it actually looks better in software mode, to be honest, than hardware mode. Well, at least it's got a bit more of a retro, you know. It owns its retroness. Yeah, and the textures sort of blend a little bit better when they're tiled. So it doesn't really accelerate, does it? The software is much faster. Wow, 20 frames. So yeah, look, yeah, we've got another decelerator type situation going on with this. Oh, it's the S3 Verge all over again. Yeah, it feels smoother. Does it look better? I don't know, but yeah, I'd say the frame rates are very similar. Not much advantage to going hardware mode at all. Feels smoother. It looks, I'd say, better. Well, she looks better. The model looks better, but the textures, the stone textures, look shocking. There's massive square pixels everywhere without the texture filtering. I don't know. I don't know what you do in this sort of situation, to be honest. Decisions. All right, let's get out of here. I'm gonna test OpenGL. I really think I'll give it one last try, but you know, I think it is true. This card cannot do OpenGL. So if we go to video modes, OpenGL 800 by 600. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, OpenGL mode is not supported by your video card. Okay. Direct 3D, it is. Okay, for some reason, Fraps does not work on this game. Not sure why. Apparently it's a common thing, it can happen, so I'm not getting a frame counter. I can bring one up though. The built-in CL underscore show FPS. FPS 1. And here we go. Oh my god, look at that. So on the top left, 6 frames per second. Not good. Oh my god. Oh, and I'm just about to go into a shootout. Alright, let's see. This is not going to be fun. Oh, I couldn't even get through the door. Whoa, these textures are... What are they? Yeah, doing some funny stuff with the textures as well. Okay, let's go through. Oh, hello, mate. Oh my god. Yep, 5-6 FPS. Not good. Yeah, barely playable. Really struggling. I mean, in this era, I always preferred OpenGL. I always thought the OpenGL renderers were much better. Now, early Direct 3D was pretty trash. I mean, look at these textures and the way those polygons intersect. That looks nasty. Oh, well, you come close and you get even more special effects. Look at this. Oh, wow. That's a pretty interesting effect. Psychedelic. Look at that. Alright, on we go. Yeah, touched 14, 15 frames. Very nice. Here we go, big open area. Back down to 5-6 frames per second. Look at you can see the big seam in the texture in the sky here. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh, it's all happening. I'm dead. Oh, it's just unplayable. You know what? I'll drop the resolution. Let's go. Whoa, let's go. 640 by 480. Let's see how it goes. Sort of, yes. Oh, these textures doing funky stuff again. Look at this. Yeah, doing the funny stuff. Okay. Into the action we go. Yeah, look, it's a bit better. Slightly, very slightly. Whoa, yeah, very difficult to play. Oh, just let me straight back up here. Oh, look at that. Yeah, look at that. The seam in the world texture is pretty cool. Yeah, you can really see where the textures on polygons intersect, or where the stitching maybe matches back up again. It's funny. This card renders very poorly. Wow. Okay. No, didn't even have time to get out of there. This is terrible. Absolutely terrible. You can't play the game like this. You know, just before I call it quits, I'm going to try 800 by 600 software mode. Let's see if this really is a decelerator. Let's see if fraps will work. I don't think it's going to, unfortunately. Oh yes, it is. Oh my god, it's working in software mode. Okay, here we go, software mode. Yeah, it's about the same. About the same frame rate, maybe slightly better. I don't know, I'm going to have a look and I compare the both, but it feels better. It looks better as well. Looks better in software mode than in hardware mode. Oh my god. It runs, dare I say it, slightly faster in software mode. So yes, we definitely do have a decelerator type situation here now. Now this is 9 frames. Oh, and I remember in hardware mode, 800 by 600, it was down to about 7 frames around here. Okay, Need for Speed 3, Hot Pursuit. Okay, fraps, the bucket popped up for a second. Here we go. Yeah, let's have a look at our options. I'm not sure what resolution this is set to. 640 by 480. You know what? We'll keep it at that because everything else looks high. Yep, let's do it. Brace yourselves. Oh my god, look at these textures around the trees. You can see the sort of binding boxes. 2, 1, go. Off we go. 10 frames per second. 11. And look at the trees. There's like boxes next. It's like the binding box around the tree is also being rendered. This really has some. All these vertical lines. Yeah, it seems to do some funny things with the seams of the textures. Frame rate is absolutely atrocious. Oh my god. Yeah, this is barely playable. Wow, it's like slow motion on my screen. It's really very poor. You know what? I'll let all the guys go. I'll let all the cars go. See if there's less cars on the screen. If it's going to render a bit better. Less objects to render. But yeah, look at these trees. The edge of each tree has this vertical line going straight up. That sort of pop in and out of existence. Well, we've got no more cars on the screen, but it has not done our frame rate any favors, has it? Oh my god. Yeah, this is very difficult to control. 9 is all it's going to give us. I mean, this is a pretty low resolution, 640 by 480 we're talking here, and it's just barely doing it. This is a bizarre behavior that we've been experiencing through all the other games as well. It really, the way it puts textures on objects doesn't quite do it right. I wouldn't call it an artifact, because artifacts happen because it's not the rendering engine struggling. It's just this is the way it renders the objects, which is not correct. And this is the 8 meg version. I'd hate to think what the 4 meg version is going to do. But then I've read some funny stuff. They said that having 8 meg version wasn't that much of an advantage. Yeah, look, this is about as much as I think of this I can tolerate. This is pretty bad. All right, let's get out of here. You know what? Let's give it a quick 2D test. Now we've given it a good hit of the 3D stuff, but let's give it a test on 2D games. This legendary game, StarCraft, released in 1998. Now this was a game that we played a lot with my friendship group. Oh, very competitive. Playing against each other, playing Battle.net. This and SiS are probably the most played games in our lands. I was a Zerg player back in the day, but I've forgotten a lot of the commands. And Terran is a bit easy to pick up for me now. Whatever it is, I've got I've got two computer players on my tail. They're chasing me but not fighting each other. Unbelievable. Look at them. Look, they won't attack each other, but they're all going for me, aren't they? Oh my god. Come on. You know, I'm going to try and take him to the enemy's base. Come on, boys. Come on. Come on, Protoss. Attack this guy. Enemy's enemy. All that sort of stuff. Oh, I'm a dead man. Oh, this is no good. I did not last long at all, did I? It's game over for me. But, you know, this card performs pretty well in 2D, I would say. No problems here. I need to really sharpen up my StarCraft skills, however. Looks like it's curtains for Billy. Alright. We've got to get out of here. So I figured, you know what? I'll run 3D Mark 99. Who could it harm? And you know what? Right after start, I had issues. I had to disable the triple buffer just to get it to start. And then once it did, oh my god. For starters, my fraps didn't even work. No frame counter. And look at this. It's drawing each frame polygon by polygon. It looks shocking. And you know what? In the FPS one, it really becomes apparent. Look at it. Oh my god. Look, you know what? The way it's just drawing it, it looks shocking. And you know what? All the tests were pretty much like this. They were just all over the shop. Things were just not rendering correctly. This card has some serious compatibility issues. But you know what? We've got a final score. 401. Okay, so let's give Pod a crack. The version I've installed is for MMX and Direct3D. So, you know, there are options. You can install just software mode. You can install the MMX one. Graphical options. Graphical options are locked. No graphical options for you, son. I have no idea what resolution this is at. Yeah, let's see how we go. Frame count is working at least. Yeah, I don't know. Is this 800 by 600? Probably is. I'm going to assume so. Frame rate, yeah, you know, you can play it. It doesn't look the best, does it? Oh, those textures, oh my god, they're filtered, but oh my god, they are muddy as hell. Yeah, look, not too bad, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, this looks weird. There should be a ceiling in here somewhere, I don't know, it just doesn't look right, does it? You know what, 20s is still, I guess, acceptable, especially given the context. Back then, these were pretty acceptable frame rates. You know, nothing to scream about, but, you know, allowed you to play the game. It sort of barely feels accelerated, doesn't it? I'm sure if I was running this software mode, I'd be getting just the same, if not better frames. All right, let's get out of this. Okay, so we can't end the show without doing our Unreal fly-through. Let's see. Let's see what it has in store for us. All right, so Unreal Gold, this does do Direct 3D, so this card should be able to render it. Wow, what on earth is with this menu? I think that says 640 by 480. Yes, I bet you've never seen this screen with these sorts of colors. Oh my god, it's really, it's not right, is it? Skies are really, all the colors are really bright. Well, look at that horizon. It's just dark black. So yeah, it looks like all the colors are absolutely amped right the hell up. Oh wow, look at that water. Like bright green radioactive stuff. Fog barely there. Yeah, frame rate. Yeah, look at that frame rate. Oh, it's really starting to struggle now, down to the 5s. Wow, really bad. 4. Oh, it gets even worse. Yeah, full slideshow. Textures are popping in and out of existence. That mountain, there was a big chunk of it that just disappeared for a second. Let's go for a second lot. Yeah, oh, it's even worse than the first run. Okay, you know what we'll do? We'll let's try it in software. Can it be any worse? Who knows? Let's see. All right. Okay, Unreal Gold software mode. Let's see. Okay, so frame rate's better. The colors are better. It looks way improved. You can actually read the writing. Yeah, definitely. Look, yeah, I think this is S3 style of hardware deceleration. The software mode is way better. I definitely play it like this. Frame rates are much more improved. Colors look like they should. Yeah, look, this is where we were really dragging down to like 3-4 frames per second. Yes, we have another 3D decelerator in our hands, boys. Yeah, this is unbelievably better compared to the hardware mode. Well, the results show why this thing had the reputation it did. You know, it was decent enough in 2D and really early 3D, but once the real 3D accelerators arrived, it was really outclassed and didn't stand a chance. But you know, it sold heaps. It was a highly successful card for SiS. They shipped tons of these things. And you know, it really wasn't designed to be remembered. It was designed to be shipped. Sold lots, but the performance was very mediocre. And it's interesting that a card that sold so much just left no legacy and it's so unremembered. But you know, it really had quite a lot of flaws. It, you know, it didn't do OpenGL, did early Direct 3D, but the texture filtering was all over the shop. So yeah, you know, lots of problems. This is S3 Verge territory. It really is. It's very much a card that you tolerated till you could get something better. You know, so you've got a Voodoo or a TNT and saw some real 3D gaming properly. Were you unfortunate enough to own one of these? Tell me in the comments. And if you want to support my channel, you can sign up for my Patreon and also buy me a coffee. Links in the description. You know, it really shows you how far ahead Voodoo was. This was the competition, you know. The other card that was released in 97 was the River 128. So, you know, if you're building a retro system based on 1997, you know, it's hard. You haven't got much options. It's very hard to find Voodoos anymore. So if you want to be really authentic, yeah, go ahead. But, you know, most likely you'd probably just go a TNT II, M64. They're cheap and cheerful and easy to find, and you'll get a much better experience with one of those if you want to go build a retro machine and, you know, enjoy it a little bit more. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for watching as always. Always appreciate it, guys. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next one.